Start things off, I wanted to say again, everyone, welcome to Biola Preview Week. Woo, this is so exciting. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about residence life. So we're super glad you're here. It's so exciting to see all of your sweet faces. But today I just wanted to say that we're going to be sharing a little bit about our different experiences here at Biola within residence life. So me, Anna, Zach, and Tony. And I want to let you guys know that we're here to answer any of your questions. So if you do have any throughout the session, please drop it down in our chat box, and we'd be happy to answer them. Our amazing facilitator, Ashley, is going to pass them along to us, and we'll answer at the end of the session. But let's get things started. We're going to do some introductions. So I'll start off. My name is Siana. I'm a sophomore here at Biola, majoring in business administration. I'm calling in from Lantana, Texas. So I saw someone from Arkansas, close enough. But a little bit, or one fun fact about me, my favorite fall thing right now is Thanksgiving. Looking forward to the break. But with that being said, I'm going to pass it along to Zach.
I am from Orange County, so St. Clemente. I know some of you are from there. It's pretty cool. I'm a Bible major. I'm a senior, so one more year left, having fun. And my favorite fall thing is the fall smells. Big candle guy. Got some wax melts as well. Just every smell possible on car plugins. I just love it. So yeah, that's a little bit about me, and I'll pass it on to Anna.
Hi, you guys. My name is Anna. Like I said, I'm from Northern California, Los Gatos. I also grew up in Maui for a lot of my life. I'm a senior at Biola as well. I'm an intercultural studies major and an international and community development minor. And my favorite fall thing is football. I'm a big NFL fan. I love the 49ers. So a couple of you guys said you were from the Bay Area. I'm just going to pretend in my heart that you guys are also 49er fans and that you are cheering me on right now as I'm saying this. Yeah, so thankful that you guys are all here. Go for it, Tony.
Thank you so much, Anna. Yeah, my name is Tony Monta. I'm a junior here at Biola, currently studying business administration with an emphasis in marketing. I'm from Laguna Niguel, California, so Orange County, pretty close to Zach, actually. And yeah, we're super happy that you guys are here today.
Awesome. Thank you guys for sharing. So again, that's a little bit about us, but again, this session, we're going to be talking all about residence life. So a little overview of the specifics. Anna's going to kick us off with what our 7 dorms look like and some of the differences there. And then Tony will talk about our floor community. So what are all halls, floor retreats, and floor Bible studies. And then Zach and I will be talking a little bit more into the specifics and what our personal experiences look like. So at the end, we'll be closing with a few questions that you guys have throughout the session. And even at the end, you guys are more than welcome to keep sending them in. But Anna, how about you kick it off?
Awesome. Thank you. So I will be talking about all the different dorms that we have here on campus. I've actually lived on campus for the past 3 years. I would have been living there this year as well. So I love dorm life. I love on-campus community and all that it has. So just some overviews before I start talking about it. We have 2 types of dorms at Biola, one called community style, one called suite style. Community style means that it's a longer hall and everybody on that floor is sharing one larger bathroom. And then suite style means that there's 2 rooms and they share a connecting bathroom. Something fun too, every dorm has a different name. Every floor on every dorm has its own name as well. So you have just pride and community even coming from your own floor too. And every dorm, though they look different, they all have their own individual community and their own traditions as well that make it really unique and special. So the first dorm we'll be talking about is Blackstone. Blackstone is actually Biola's newest dorm. It's beautiful. Fun fact about Blackstone, they have their own cafe built into it. So you can go down the elevator and walk a couple of steps, get some coffee, get a crepe. They have crepes there as well. So that's great that they have that right there in their dorm building. And they also are a community style dorm. So they have longer hallways, shared bathrooms, great community in Blackstone. The next dorm is Sigma. Sigma is one of the suite style dorms. So every 2 rooms, they share a bathroom. Sigma has really big rooms. I went in one room one time and I had never been in a Sigma room and I was like, this is like a mansion in here. They have bigger dorm room sizes, great community. My mom actually was an RA of Sigma back in the 80s, so she is a big fan of Sigma. If you want a quieter place to study, Sigma is a little bit quieter, but great sized rooms and great community as well. Next, we have Alpha. Alpha is another community style dorm too. Alpha is actually an all girls dorm, and so it's full of only girls. It has a great community because of that, a lot of sisterhood. And something fun that they do every year is something called Candyland, where they decorate their dorm floors in crazy different themes. They decorate their doors. And then kids in the La Mirada area come to Alpha and they go trick or treating in Alpha. And then later in the evening, Biola students actually go through and get free candy as well. So they decorate their floors with different themes and it's a lot of fun. And they give out free candy. So who doesn't love free candy? Next, we have Horton, and Horton has been my home away from home for the past 3 years. I've lived there. Zach has lived there as well. Also, if you take a virtual tour of Biola or have been on campus, that's usually the dorm that we do show on that tour. Horton is a community style dorm. They all share one bathroom on the floor. They have great community. Horton is loud. They have fun together. We do a lot of floor events. And so like my whole floor loves to go on retreats. We go to the beach, we go to dinner, we go to Disneyland, a lot of stuff like that. Zach's floor, actually the entire floor made their own mock rock team that I was able to be a part of. They make their own intramural teams. And so that's a lot of fun. Next, we have Hope. Tony's lived in Hope. Hope is one of our bigger dorms as well. It's a community style dorm, and so they're all sharing the same bathroom on the floor. Hope is really known for their all halls, which are these larger gatherings for the entire dorm to get together. I was really good friends with one of the RAs who is a resident advisor, and you have one on every floor. And they helped plan those all halls last year. And one of them was like a countdown to December, like a New Year's Eve, but December's Eve party. And they had a ball drop in the hallway down the staircase. Just super creative, fun ways to bring the community together and have fun with everybody. Next, we have Stewart. Stewart, like Sigma, is one of our suite style dorms. Every 2 rooms share a bathroom. And something unique about Stewart is that they kind of have little pods of different rooms that are conjoined together. And so they have really close community in those different pods. They're all like their own individual families in there. Stewart's a really outgoing dorm. It always seems like everybody outside their dorm has surfboards or skateboards or just they're always out doing stuff, being adventurous, having fun. And they have a really close-knit community. And our last dorm I'm going to talk about is Hart. Hart is at the end of campus, and they are also a community style dorm. They have a beautiful courtyard, so it's not uncommon that you'll see students who live in Hart outside, lying in the grass together, doing homework, sitting in the courtyard. They also have great community as well. They used to do events where they would decorate the entire floor and have this something called Deck the Haven. And it was basically a floor throwing a giant Christmas party for all of Biola, trying to fit into that one hall. And so that's just a little overview of the 7 dorms we have here on campus. All of them have different parts of them that make them unique. They have different traditions. I have personally loved living on dorms at Biola, and you can look more about these online. That's just a brief overview of our different dorms. And now we're going to listen to Tony talk a little bit more about his experience.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anna. Yeah, so guys, I'm going to be talking about floor community, kind of just a general overview of what it's like, essentially. Like Anna was talking about, Biola is very good in regards to all halls. I myself was in Hope, like Anna was saying, and definitely we were a dorm that specialized in throwing the best all halls. So essentially what they look like, it's going to be like a dorm event, very community involved, kind of get all of the floors involved. They always got free food, which once you get to college, you'll realize is a huge deal. But yeah, like I said, for example, Hope, I mean, Anna pretty much said it spot on. It's basically like a New Year's Eve countdown, but for December. They have like hot chocolate. I remember one year we did karaoke, very cool. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the all halls. Another thing that goes on throughout the dorms is floor retreats. So I'm not completely sure about some of the other dorms, but based on my experiences in Hope, our floor actually went on a trip to Joshua Tree, as well as a surfing trip to Malibu, which was very cool. Yeah, but basically around Biola, around the dorms, and each kind of diverse floor, you're going to have kind of something different. You know, different floor rituals, things like that. For example, we used to do Bible studies during my floor, which it was the core, which was on the third floor of Hope. We also did things like broom ball. Like I said, we did our Malibu trip. That was super, super fun. And honestly, just normal things as well to bring the community together, such as floor dinners. I know that most of the dorms around campus do that. I know Horton does like a huge barbecue to get the semester kicked off. Different things like trash duty, intramurals, different things like that. So yeah, rituals is really big here on campus throughout the dorms. But yeah, basically, Sos and Zach are going to be talking about their experiences. So guys, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Joni. Yeah, so everyone, I lived in Blackstone. Super fun community. I got to meet so many awesome people from like freshmen to seniors. And I think there are a lot of different aspects to that, like Anna and Tony were talking about. But one part was our floor gatherings. So I lived on third floor in Blackstone, and I lived on the corner of Rejoice. So it's really fun to see each floor have their own personality and their own name. Each RA is super intentional about getting together the community on the floor and creating events that are intentional to the students who are on each floor. So for me, we kept it really simple. Every Tuesday night, we got together in our Blackstone kitchen, and one girl was in charge of baking some form of dessert for us. So my favorite memory is us burning these fried Oreos in pancake batter. Super fun, but again, it was an adventure every week. And after we had baked something together, we would go to the corner of our floor and watch a movie, oftentimes a chick flick, but just super fun to, again, have a time to like rest and be together with my floor. And yeah, just a super fun time to catch up on the week, and also sometimes got to snuck in some homework there too. But another favorite memory that I have is our brother and sister floors. I think Tony had mentioned it a little bit. And every Sunday night, our brother floor in Blackstone would come and pick up our trash and take it out. A lot of the guys had been involved with music, so they'd strum their guitars and sing to us as they picked up our garbage. So again, each floor is super unique, and that was our Blackstone floor. They just loved instruments and just had such a great time with us. And afterwards, we'd go to chapel together, and then we'd come back to the dorm, and we'd just hang out. And they oftentimes had like a Wii, so we were super competitive as well and playing different games together. If you guys know Mario Kart, that was the go-to. But that's a little something we did together. We had also gone to bonfires in Huntington. A lot of just unique experiences, both on campus and off campus. And then one all hall that I wanted to highlight was our cultural food night. So all halls are like every other month in the dorms. So Blackstone hosted our cultural food night, and we had so many different students from different countries. As you see here in our chat, we have people from all over the world, and it was just really great to see them share their passions and experiences from their backgrounds and their heritage. So that was super fun. And we also had like a talent show to showcase their art and had a fun little karaoke night as well. But again, I hope you guys just really invest in your floor and in your community throughout the dorms. So with that being said, Zach also has a bunch of really cool experiences in Horton. So you can go ahead and share, Zach.
Cool, thanks, Sos. Yeah, I lived in Horton. Horton Hall is pretty central on campus. It's a pretty good place to be, and I had a lot of fun. So my floor is called the Men of Honor. Like we've mentioned, there's different floors. They have different titles and all that stuff. The RAs come up with all that. But my floor is really, really cool. Like Tony sort of mentioned, every single floor is different. My floor was just sort of crazy. We really, really valued community. We really thought that we were all each other's best friends, which is awesome. So sometimes floors will go to dinner with each other once a week or once a month, but we had a floor dinner every single day at 5 o'clock at the caf at that one table, so that every single, time you go to the caf, you have someone to sit with. That was our goal. We had a goal. I was on the floor for 3 years. We had a goal of just reaching out to the freshmen, making sure they all had buddies, they all had friends, they were never alone. And we did everything together. So we ate together. We woke up, we hung out in our little elbow lounge, which was like the lounge on our floor. We played video games, Super Smash, did homework, did all of our projects, all of our assignments, very rarely left. So that's a little bit of like the extreme of what you can expect. We spent all of our time with each other. We mentioned brother and sister floors. So like it might have been mentioned previously, all the floors are split by gender, right? So there's a guy's floor and a gal's floor. It doesn't mix in, but what we do is we have like brother and sister floor. So my sister floor was Anna. So we hung out a lot. We went to different events. We went to Griffith Observatory one time with them, mini golfing. We had ice cream at downtown Disney, all sorts of fun things. But yeah, my time in the dorms was amazing. We had an intramural basketball team and a football team. I wasn't a part of that. Flag football. There was a soccer one. We had like every intramural too. And like we mentioned earlier, we did have a mock rock team. So you can look us up and see us dance. It's pretty fun. But I do want to leave some room for some questions here. I know you guys have been submitting questions and chatting them in. So this is a great time to chat in some questions for us now. And we're just going to go through the ones we've already gotten. And we'll definitely get to them, to all of them, which is cool. Hopefully all of them. So, would you like to answer the first question, a little bit related to just general food? So how's the food system, and do the students like the food?
Yeah, great question. I love the food at Biola. Again, Anna had brought up how um, Blackstone has its own like little cafe. There are 6 different eateries on our campus, and then we also have a central cafeteria. So honestly, if there's something that you don't like that they're serving at that certain time, there is something for you throughout our whole campus. Yeah, there are like within the cafeteria, it's also like buffet style. So you're not just getting like one meal. There's so many different options for you to choose, and it's all you can eat. So I think it's just the best case scenario. Also, fun fact, our catering business also serves DreamWorks. So I mean, we're in a good spot, guys. Biola has great catering services, and also super healthy too. I don't know if you guys have certain like dietary needs, but Biola is just really intentional again with serving you guys to the best of your ability. I loved eating in the cafeteria. It was also just a fun like central spot to go to hang out. I'd say if you guys do go, I would always end my meal with soft serve. So I don't know if it's just me or if you guys relate to this too, but yeah, loved being able to get a little sweet something at the end of my meals. So I really enjoyed it. If there's anything you guys specifically are looking for, you're out to find it in the caf. But next question that we have submitted in is for Anna, and they were asking what percentage of students live on campus?
Yeah, so we have about 67% of students who live on campus, so around 2/3 of our students live on campus. And it's really cool because that doesn't just mean freshmen, it's all grades. And so both Zach and I are seniors this year, and we were going to be living on our floors as well. So there are seniors on the floor, juniors, freshmen, sophomores, and mixed up of all different students. And so it's about 67% of the students who live on campus. And then our next question is for Zach. So Zach, can you talk about what dorms freshmen live in and kind of what that means too?
Yeah, so the question is, what dorms do freshmen live in? I think Anna sort of touched on this previously with her answer there, but there's no specific dorm for freshmen or for sophomore, for junior, for senior, so we're all intermixed together. So there's going to be freshmen in every single dorms. Usually students, there's also another thing is offered on campus and off campus apartments. Usually when students are in their upperclassmen years, they'll do those apartment things. You guys just worry about these ones and know that there's students from all 4 years in these dorms here too, which is awesome. I'm going to pass the next question off to Tony. So Tony, and this is sort of all of us as well, so we can try to take a stab at it. But did you have roommates? If so, were they randomized or did you come in knowing them? Can we request to room with other incoming freshmen like our friends?
Yeah, so that's a great question. The answer is yes. If you do want, let's say you have a friend coming in that you're like, hey, I would love to room with them. You can actually be put together. I think you contact housing for that. As well as for my experience, basically, I didn't want to, I knew some people coming into Biola, but I kind of wanted the whole new college experience and get a roommate that I thought would, a new roommate that I thought would be good for me. So essentially, before you go into, go into your dorm, you actually take like a little test before, which kind of pairs you up with someone that essentially might go to bed the same time as you. Maybe the noise level will kind of be the same between you. So yes, you are picked randomly, but it's based on what you answer in that little form that you do prior to going into Biola. And yeah, for me, I got a random roommate. I love him. I still talk to him today. And it was really cool because we were very, very different. I was more of an outgoing person, like to get involved, kind of go around. And he was more of the guy who liked to stay inside, um, you know, kind of made our dorm look really cool. And honestly, it was just crazy how two very different people were able to become extremely good friends. So for any incoming freshmen, I would definitely recommend doing that. So yeah. And then the next question is for SOS. So it says, I heard that the rooms in Blackstone are a little smaller than the other rooms. Is this a drastic difference? Are they really small?
That's a great question. So Blackstone overall is the smallest dorm on campus, but I say we're also like the newest and the fanciest. So you kind of get to pick which one you like better. They are the smallest rooms, and they are pretty small. But I lived there and I felt like it was okay. I enjoyed my time there. If you guys want like a lot more space, I would maybe look into other dorms, but I just really love Blackstone. There's so many cute little nooks that are there. Each floor has a kitchen. There's like on like the fourth floor, they have like a little patio area. So fun little things that Biola offers or that Blackstone offers that differs from other dorms. But for the rooms, they are smaller, but it's totally doable if you're down for that. So good question. Next is for Anna. How do you know what dorm is right for you?
Yeah, that is a great question. Well, I think just knowing too the difference of if you want to live in a suite style or community style, that'll probably start directing where you think you want to live on campus. I would really recommend going to Biola's housing website. You can see pictures on the inside of what those rooms look like, what those common spaces look like too, where they also are on campus, because maybe if you are a certain major and your building is on a certain part of campus, you want to live closer to that building if you have early morning classes. Or if you're an athlete, you might want to live closer to the building that's next to the gym or next to the baseball field. And so it really depends on what you want. But also, honestly, I would just pray about it too. Because I know that sounds cliche, but at Biola, you do put down your top 3 dorms that you want to live in. And then besides that, it's kind of out of your hands. And there are people who are taking into consideration what your top 3 choices and where you want to live too. But ultimately, like they do make that decision. But just pray about where you want to find community, where you think you would find community too. I remember being a senior in high school and I used to pray, I'm like, God, I don't know where I'm going to live, but you already know who my roommate is. You already know who my RAs are. And so just praying about that as well. But looking at pictures provides a great visual. I know for me, I knew I wanted to live in Horton because I went on Biola's tour. I saw those rooms in person, and it was the first place that I could visualize myself being on campus and being at college in general. And because of that, I was like, I'm living here. I need to live here. This is where I'm supposed to live. And then I ended up living there for the past 3 years. But look up those pictures. All of those dorms have great community. They have little quirks and traditions as well. And then kind of a follow-up question, just asking, is Biola cliquey? I know that sometimes we can think that because there are different dorms and because there's different personalities or different traditions that we all hold on to, maybe there's different divisions or cliques as well. And I say this with complete honesty that Biola is not cliquey. I don't know what you guys are experiencing right now in high school. I knew for me, there was so much division in high school. You were completely categorized based off of what sport you played or what your GPA was or who you hung out with. And that was so hard for me and so hurtful for me. And when I got to Biola, it truly is just a tangible example and a living and breathing example of what it means to be the body of Christ. I have become best friends with people that I never thought I would have, who have different passions and different interests than me, who come from different backgrounds. I love sports. I love, energetic things. I love extroverted things. And I have learned that I would be ridding myself of so many important relationships if I only hung out with people that were just like me. And Biola really does a great job of putting so many different diverse backgrounds together on dorms and your floors. And then also just naturally, I think my mindset just completely changed being at Biola of truthfully, everybody is made in the image of God with so much value, and that really is infiltrated in everything we do. And so I know that kind of got a little a little deep, but truthfully, Biola is not clicky. Even all the ambassadors, all four of us come from different backgrounds. We all had different passions in high school, but those things don't define who you are, and you truly are so accepted just for being an individual who is made in the image of God at Biola. So I touched about it a little bit, but Zach and Sos, do either of you guys want to comment on, is there division in the dorms between living on campus, living off campus, and the difference of that, especially with people who don't experience resident life either?
Yeah, sure. I'll start with that. I'll just touch on another question. Is there a division between commuters and people who live in the dorms because they don't get to experience the res life? Yeah, so first of all, I think Anna's answer to that is a good preface. But I do also want to say that there are opportunities for commuter students to form a community of their own. We have opportunities like the Collegium, which is a specific place, sort of like a hangout place in the student union building specifically for commuter students to meet each other, hang out, plan events, Bible studies, eat with each other, do work, hang out. So there's a lot of space there. But there is not really a huge division in looking at another student and going like, oh, they're a commuter student. It's just not really like that. The thing is that there is a reality that Biola does want to push students to live in the dorms if possible. Just because if you're in proximity with people and it's easier to make community with those people, but there's definitely ways to plug into the community besides just living there if you were in a commuter situation. So that's how I'll answer that. So do you want to add anything on top of that?
Yeah, Zach, no, the Collegium's a great place for commuters to meet one another, but I'd also say we have like campus-wide events as well that bring our community together. So there are so many opportunities. We also have clubs and a bunch of different extracurricular programs for commuters to be a part of. I know that our Mosaic Cultural Center also brings a lot of commuters together. So depending on like what you're passionate about and what you want to be involved with, there's so many different ways for commuters to do so. But that's just my little touch on it. Tony, did you want to get the next question? You're asking, do you know how many students have cars on campus, and would you recommend having one?
Yeah, so that is a great question. The answer actually is 62% of our students have a car on campus. And honestly, I mean, you'll hear different answers based on my experiences, at least. You know, a lot of I myself have a car, and I do have a lot of friends who don't have cars on campus. But, you know, I feel like at Biola, friends are always giving each other rides everywhere. For example, my freshman and sophomore year when I was in the dorms, I understand that, you know, everybody is coming from a different place. Some people might not have a car on campus. So people are really good at just kind of texting maybe in a group chat saying like, hey, does anyone want like a grocery run or anyone want to, you know, need a ride anywhere? And honestly, based on my friends who don't have cars on campus, no, it's not the biggest deal. Obviously, I mean, if you have your car, you don't necessarily need to rely on people with cars. However, I mean, you can get around. La Mirada is a very nice area. You know, there's a lot to do around here. So it's not like you will be stuck at school. People are always given rides and yeah. So on that note, I'm going to pass it back to Sos. And this question is there a price difference between the halls?
Yeah, so there are some price differences between the halls. I wouldn't say they're huge, but there is a price difference. So again, with Blackstone being the smallest dorm, they are the cheapest. And then with Hope and Horton being the biggest ones, they're going to be a little more expensive than Blackstone. But I'd say like just be open to all the dorms and really be intentional in kind of listing those top three out. But if pricing is something that you're um, that like you need more help with, you can always talk to financial aid in working certain situations out. They're always super helpful, and I know they've helped me a ton with my time here at Biola so far. But that was our last question for this session. Guys, thank you so much for being with us today and having us share a little bit with you. I want you guys to know that we are praying over you guys, and through this whole college journey, if you guys do need help, we are always here for you guys to reach out to. But Tony is going to close us in prayer, and then we'll see you guys later.
Perfect. Thank you, Sos. Yeah, if everyone could join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, I thank you for this wonderful morning. I'm so glad that we are all able to meet here online today. Yeah, while we wish we were all in person to meet today, we're just so thankful, that we're able to go on our computers that you have given us and be able to network with all of these amazing students. And, just talk about Biola, talk about our school, why we love it. And honestly, we are just so thankful that we are able to talk about these things. I pray for everyone's families, anyone who's been impacted in a negative way by the pandemic. And yeah, Lord, this has been a test this year. 2020 has not been the best year for everyone. I can definitely say for me. So I just pray that you can touch anybody's heart who needs it. Anyone who needs care right now, anyone who needs love. We're definitely living in a world right now where love is a kingdom value that is needed. So we just ask that you bestow love upon us and help us love our neighbor and continue to show us what you want us to do. I pray for all of these students, whether or not they decide to come to Biola. I pray that their college application process goes well and that it's not too stressful. I remember when I was in high school, we weren't in a pandemic, but yet I still procrastinated with mine. So I pray that you can just, help these students during this tough time and give them strength, give them courage. So thank you, Father, that we're able to be here today. And I pray for everyone. Amen. Yeah, so once again, guys, thank you so much for coming. We know that was a lot of information. So feel free, if you guys have any questions, our website literally has a ton of information about the dorms. You could literally see like what we're about, the different all halls we have, costs, different things like that. And yeah, we just want you guys to know that we are praying for you. We know it's a little difficult right now with everything going on. So I hope you guys know we're here for you. If you guys need anything, we wish you the best of luck with the rest of your college applications. We hope you have a blessed day. Thank you, guys.